Hey, good Friday morning. It's Clint here. I thought I would do something a little bit different today and bring you a video about something other than local politics. And what inspired me was I got to thinking, I've been following this guy on YouTube for a while. He goes by the name of Sage Wanderer. And he did a series of videos called The Perils of an Interesting Life. And he has some pretty good stories. And it got me to thinking I've got a few myself. At times I have led a somewhat interesting and adventurous life, mainly through my writings, people I meet. Sometimes it's just random people I meet out, but this particular story has to do with somebody I never talked to over the phone or in person, but I ended up co-writing an article with. The year was 2016, and a magazine I was writing for, the editor contacted me and said, Clint, how would you feel about doing a story about stolen elections? And I thought, well, that'd be really interesting because, of course, 2016 was the year that Hillary Clinton was running for president as a Democrat and Donald Trump was running for president as a Republican. And everybody just assumed that Hillary would be crowned the president. Um, so I started doing research on this article, and I found a lot of good information from, old books, magazines, newspaper archives. Um, but one source of information that was really good came from a man by the name of Victor Thorn. And Victor had written a lot of magazine articles uh, for the same magazine I wrote for, and that company also owned a newspaper he wrote a lot of articles for. And I got so much information from Victor. I contacted the editor and I said, hey, I'm finding some good information, but the best information uh, I'm finding comes from Victor Thorn. And so he suggested we combine the information I found on my own with Victor's, and we would just do a co-write on this article. A little background on Victor. Victor had written about, if memory serves me correctly, Victor had written about 60 books, a lot of books. Most of them were conspiracy based. But he had really been gaining traction on a trilogy of books he had written called Bill and Hillary. One volume was titled Hillary and Bill, the sex years, Hillary and Bill, the drug years, Hillary and Bill, the crime years. And he had just released another book called Crowning Hillary. And as I stated, these books were really gaining traction, and I thought, wow, this is kind of cool that I'm going to have a co-writing credit with Victor Thorn on this article. And this article came out in the July-August issue of this particular magazine. And what I learned was sometimes cool becomes very concerning, because I woke up the morning of August 1st to the news that Victor Thorn was in fact dead. And apparently Victor had climbed a mountain where he lived, or near where he lived, in College Station, Pennsylvania, and killed himself. Of course, those in the conspiracy world automatically suspected something foul, because throughout the years many of Bill and Hillary Clinton's critics have committed suicide, quote unquote. So a newspaper did a podcast interview with Victor's brother a week or two later, and his brother said no, it was a suicide, and that didn't do much to stay the suspicion of many people. And I think the reason why was if he was suicided and not committed suicide himself, and the Clintons did it, then they probably wouldn't have any qualms about threatening Victor Thorn's extended family. Before the interview with Victor's brother, the newspaper reached out to the police in College Station, Pennsylvania several times, and really didn't receive any answers. Nobody really knew anything, but then again, that's not uncommon during an investigation. But I think what hit me hardest was the fact that the last piece of work Victor Thorn ever had published was an article he co-wrote with me. And it's a little concerning when you wake up one morning and find out that an article you co-wrote with somebody who had written at least four books about the crimes of the Clinton family is dead. So obviously nothing ever happened to me, which is a good thing. Definitely tragic for Victor. I don't think we'll ever know what happened to Victor. I don't know if he was depressed. I don't know. But it's definitely something to think about, because as you go through your life, living day to day, and meeting people and people you encounter, you just never know what is going to be their fate or your fate, or what's going to happen because you know them. It was just really weird how it all went down. And it's really weird to think of the fact that the last article this man ever published, like I said, was co-written with me. So just a little a little snippet of my life there, and if you find this interesting, perhaps I will share more stories in the future. I tell you what I will do, I will put links to some of Victor's books that he had written about the Clintons in the description of this video. I will put a link to the article that we co-written together, and a link to the newspaper article that talks about Victor's death, along with a link to the audio interview that the newspaper did with Victor's brother. So I hope you have a great weekend. I hope you found this interesting, and enjoy life and be safe, because you never know what's in store for you or somebody that you know. So until next time, I'll see you later. Bye.